Sometimes the most revolutionary act is to choose a simple life. It looks a little tropical at this point, but welcome to my greenhouse, guys. We transplanted these peppers into pots last night. They look a little droopy this morning. I'm going to go ahead and water them in really good. We went ahead and added some compost in the top of each of these planters. And hopefully by watering them in good, that gives them a good fertilized boost. Probably in about a week, I'm going to go through and use some Miracle Grow on them to give them another little boost. I don't want to do both at the same time because that might shock them, on top of being transplanted into these pots to start with. But look at all these little peppers, guys. This is a Scarlet Variegated pepper. The leaves are variegated. They're different colors. They're like a green and a purple. And the blooms of these are so pretty. But this is a little hot pepper. And they pack a little bit of a punch for how small they are. We're hoping to be able to extend our season because some of these are full of blooms and some of them even actually have a few peppers on them still. There's an orange cayenne. This tomato plant is massive and it literally has been producing tomatoes out here since like March. We moved it out here whenever we had the wood stove going to keep it heated, and this was planted upstairs in our house in November of last season. We've got a few things left in here. This is a Turkish eggplant that we're kind of trying to keep alive. And my husband has a pot of roux. I really need to start cutting some of this back and getting it dehydrated. It's doing really amazing. Over here we brought in some lemongrass and we're hoping to keep it going through the season. And we still have these noodle beans going crazy. We're going to leave these here on for seed. They've got way too big, like the ones that we had planted in the garden, but we're going to need some for seed so we can have that to plant again next season. Got some basil left over from plants that we had started in the spring. I've got a bunch planted out in the garden and these were just extra. Another project I've been working on in my greenhouse here recently is propagating some plants. I've been taking cuttings that I've gotten from a few friends and I've started several of these. Is a purple wandering Jew. I'm actually not sure what this one's called. But I've got several of those going. I've got a couple spider plants. I started these from a teeny tiny little baby plant that my sister gave me. That was no bigger than this little guy last year. I put it out in the greenhouse this summer, and then it put off all these little babies. So I've taken all of those off, and I've put them in trays to help get even more of those started. And then I can take them and up pot them. And these soon will be, I just put these in here. They're going to take a minute to take root, and then eventually I'm going to up pot them into some big pots too. If you want to see how we built this greenhouse, I'll leave a little clip here below and kind of explain how it went. My husband built this jig on our picnic table. And then we took some top rail from a chain link fence that we tore down several years ago, and basically all we did was bent it around this jig that we built. We took some of those same pipes and we took a T-post driver and pounded those into the ground and basically just screwed the hoops into the leg post, and we had a standing structure. We got busy with the build, so we don't have any more video of actually putting together, but all we did was took metal and was left over from our job and screwed it into these posts, added a few doors that were given to us by my sister. We took a few pieces of fencing and created our shelving, and then some wire, some high tensile wire from our goat fence that became hanging pot holders. And there you have it, our little homemade greenhouse that we used this season to grow so many plants. We grew everything that we needed for ourselves and our families that surrounded us in this little greenhouse. This little greenhouse became my happy place from spring to summer and now into fall, and I'm so excited to see what it can do in the future. Thanks for hanging out with me again today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Come back and we'll have plenty more content coming up. Make sure to subscribe so that you can get notified of any new thing that we post.